Welcome to your weekly dose of yoga inspiration, where every episode offers a unique path to deepen your practice and enrich your life. Whether you are a dedicated yoga student seeking a moment of calm in a hectic day or a teacher striving for balance and sustainability in your career, there's something here for you. Every month, our journey is going to unfold through 4 distinct episodes, and today's episode is Off the Blog. Blogs might seem a little bit old school, but I'm giving them a reboot. In these episodes, I take my written reflections from my blog on my website and turn them into easy to listen support resources that can help take your yoga practice off the mat and into the world. If you're wondering what's going on with my voice, I've been pretty sick for the last couple days and haven't done any speaking for about 48 hours and just starting to get back to health. So that's what's going on here. But today, funny enough, we're going to talk about the power of silence. And I spent a lot of time in silence the last couple of days, I'll tell you that much. The power of silence can be a game changer for your stress and productivity. So the question I have for you is, have you ever felt like your mind just won't stop? No matter what you do, there's always something demanding your attention, whether it's emails, notifications, conversations, constant noise. It's exhausting. And this is the number one thing I hear from people when they talk about yoga and meditation, that they can't turn their mind off. But what if I told you that the solution to all of that isn't about doing anything more? It's actually just about doing less. That the secret to clearing your mind and reducing your stress and being able to improve your focus, it's not another self-improvement hack, it's just silence. So in this episode, I'm going to show you why silence is one of the most powerful tools for your mind and body. And it's backed by both yoga and science, which is something that I love, that we live in this day and age where yoga has been talking about certain things for so many years, decades, centuries. And today, finally, we have so much scientific evidence backing up all the amazing benefits that yoga's been preaching for centuries and centuries. I'll also share with you 5 simple ways you can bring more silence into your daily life, no matter how busy you are. So there'll be a practical element to this where you can start to incorporate some of these tools. If you're looking for more ways to feel less stressed and more grounded and in control of your well-being, well, that's what this podcast is about. So make sure to hit like and subscribe for weekly yoga-inspired content. Let's get into it. The question is, why do we struggle with silence? We live in a world that literally never stops. From the moment we wake up, we are bombarded with noise. Our phones, emails, social media, work demands, endless conversations. And for most of us, silence feels weird. Like actually giving ourselves space for silence can draw up anxiety and tension because it's so weird. So be honest with yourself. When was the last time that you actually sat in complete silence without any distractions? No music, no podcasts, no background TV, no doom scrolling. For most of us, it's been a while. And yet, we need silence. Without it, our minds stay in overdrive and we struggle to focus. We feel mentally exhausted. Our stress levels skyrocket. And the worst part, when we do get a moment of silence, we immediately try to fill it because we're so used to stimulation. If you don't give your brain space to reset, you'll always feel stuck in this cycle of stress and exhaustion. So what happens when we ignore this need for silence? You've probably felt some of this already. Stress hormones go through the roof. Cortisol, the body's main stress hormone, stays elevated. Your nervous system gets stuck in a fight or flight state. You're in that sympathetic nervous system all the time. All of this leads to your brain becoming overwhelmed, and it makes it harder to focus or retain information. Have you ever noticed how after a long day of work, noise, and distractions, you can't even remember what you had for lunch? That's a sign that your brain is on overstimulation. Emotionally, we can become really reactive and take it out on our loved ones. When we never take time to pause, we end up snapping at people, feeling anxious, or shutting down completely. And physically, we hold tension. Tight shoulders, clenched jaw, shallow breathing. This all can lead to stiffness in your body as well. So much of flexibility is related to having a calm mind and letting go of emotional stress as much as it is about stretching your hamstrings. So here's the good news though. It doesn't have to be your reality. By bringing small, tiny moments of silence into your day, you can start reversing those effects almost instantly. Okay, so here's why silence works. In yoga, silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's actually a tool for deeper awareness. In meditation, silence helps us connect with ourselves, moving past mental chatter. I almost compare it to like being a filtration system for our minds. Of course, when you first stop and pause and give yourself that space for silence, everything is going to come up in your brain. That's absolutely normal. But this is the natural filtration process for your brain. In yoga philosophy, silence is part of pratyahara, a withdrawal of the senses. So we can tune in rather than being pulled in every direction. And science backs this up. Studies show that silence literally helps grow new brain cells in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. It also lowers your cortisol and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps the body shift into a relaxed state. And when you're in that relaxed state, that's also when your whole physical body starts to open up too. I learned this in my meditation practice doing 10 days of Vipassana, just sitting for 14 hours a day. I was amazed that after 10 days, I actually left feeling more flexible. But I did literally zero mobility or any significant yoga practices. It was just sitting and meditating. Silence even helps boost creativity and problem solving by activating the part of your brain that sparks insight and deeper thinking. It's kind of like when they say you get your best ideas in the shower. It's because you have nothing else going on. You're not distracted by anything. And that space gives you the time to actually think clearly. So by adding intentional silence into your routine, you can make a massive difference. And the best part is that you don't need hours of meditation to experience these benefits. Just a few simple practices can change everything. So here's your framework to put this into action. I'm going to give you 5 simple ways that you can embrace silence on a daily basis. The first is to just, obviously, when you start your day, before reaching for your phone in the morning, sit for just 5 minutes in silence. I mean, I still reach for my phone simply to set a timer, but start your day with 5 minutes of silence and breathe. Let your mind wake up naturally instead of flooding it with noise. Number 2, take silent breaks at work. Instead of checking your phone between tasks, take a 1-minute silent pause. Between meetings, between things that you, instead of going back to back to back to back with all the things that you have to do at work, try to incorporate 1 or 2 minutes of silence where you can just turn away from your screen, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just let your mind reset. Okay, this one's my favorite. Number 3, go for a mindful walk without headphones. I see it all the time where people are just tuned in to their headphones. When you're walking around the city, taking public transit, nobody's paying attention. Everybody's got something happening. So on your next walk or commute, I encourage you to ditch the music, ditch the podcast, and just listen to your surroundings. This is a moving meditation that can help you feel more present and calm, even if the world around you is chaotic. 4th, unplug for an hour each day. Silence isn't just about the external noise, it's also about digital noise. So set aside 1 hour a day to be completely tech-free. Your brain will thank you. And in that time, you can fold laundry, tidy up your place, do some dishes, prep some food, or just sit with a cup of tea. Like, don't always have to have some background noise happening every time you're doing something. Lastly, end your day with quiet reflection. Before bed, take a few minutes to sit in silence. Whether you reflect on your day, meditate, or simply breathe, this helps your nervous system wind down. It's going to help you get better sleep. And as a bonus, you can even journal a bit. Write down 3 things that worked really well for you that day, or highlights from the day, and maybe 1 thing that you learned that day. And that's going to really put you off to a good night's rest. At the end of the day, silence isn't just about escaping the world. It's about reconnecting with yourself. And what you're really going to notice when you practice silence is that nothing is ever truly silent. You're going to be hearing things all the time, even just the sound of your breath. But when you create space for this type of silence, you'll notice more clarity, less stress, a greater sense of balance in your daily life. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one of these 5 practices and try it for the next week. See how it shifts your mental and emotional states. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video so more people can discover the power of silence. Subscribe for weekly yoga-inspired content designed to help you feel more balanced and at ease. And comment below. Let me know which of these practices you're going to try first. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in next week's episode. Peace.